Hello everybody, nice to see you guys here. My name's Miss Macy and you guys know me. I'm staff here at the school and taking the role of teaching tonight's meditation class because Sifu is out of town. He's going to be back tomorrow. So I'm basing my talk today on the question of the week, which is how do you stop the cycle of desire while still maintaining motivation to accomplish your goals and dreams? And I thought about this question quite a bit because this is one of the areas where this practice has tremendously impacted my life. And I wanted to share a bit about that and the impact that it's had in my life and just the shift that's occurred for me in how I view the world, like fundamentally how I view the world. And I think this question of the week really points to that in a very deep and, for me, quite unexpected way. So when I first came to the dojo back in 2013, I was a mom. My 6-year-old son Ian decided that he wanted to do martial arts, and I was looking for something to do that wasn't running because I really don't like running and that something that was easy that I could do that was with a group of people because being a mom I had lost my motivation a lot for exercising. So I was really looking for something that I could get fit again and be in a great community around. And prior to that, let me go back even further than that. Prior to that, I'd been very, very active. So I'd done a lot of kayaking, a lot of outdoor stuff, all that sort of thing. So much so that I'd been to the World Championships for Kayak Polo, which is a crazy game. It's really fun. It's kind of like basketball combined with water polo and kayaks. So a little wacky. Not that many people know about it, but it's a super challenging game because it involves ball sports, team sports, and water sports, all of those things all at once. Super, super fun, and I had been very involved in it in New Zealand before we came here, been to the World Championships a couple of times, came here, was really got kayak polo going in Los Angeles completely because it didn't exist here, and was the US captain for the US women's team going to the World Champs as well. So I had a lot of experience with having goals, making them happen, and really achieving stuff, right, from a physical perspective. And, you know, I don't know how many of you know, but I have a PhD, and it is something that I had to work really hard at, really, put the goals out there. I was really driven at that time in my life to achieve stuff, you know, and to do things well and to do things as well as I could and encourage other people along with me along in the journey to do their best and to continue with their life. What could they do with their lives? How can they really be the best people that they could be? So I have a lot of experience in that world of the goals and the drive and the desire. Like, it was really in me that I had to achieve. Like, that was just what you did. Like, you just had to achieve and do things. And when I became a mother, it's not that drive went away. It didn't at all. But what happened for me was that the goals that I was setting for myself, and this is with loads of hindsight, like, you know, looking back on things, it didn't occur to me this way at all, but what was happening was that I would set goals for myself as if I wasn't a mother and I didn't have other responsibilities and wasn't sleep deprived, and all of those things that go on when you're a mother with young kids, right? And so I would fail at being able to achieve my goals. And this did a number on my brain, and I was really struggling. I really was struggling. So at the point that I came to the dojo, I was struggling with the feeling of not being enough, and struggling with the wanting to achieve a whole lot, and just not physically being able to do all the things that I used to do, fit them in my day, more priorities, all of those sorts of things. And I was struggling with the balance. So that whole cycle of desire was pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And I really felt like I was in this space of failing and failing and failing and failing, like over and over and over again. And it was such a disempowering place to be, like super disempowering, right? And for a while, I started to, as I was practicing here, started to the thing that really seeped into my brain was being here every single day and the process of becoming a martial artist and taking one day at a time. And you just do what you can do on the day that you're here, and that's all that you can do, right? There's nothing else that you can do except do what you can do on any given moment of time. And so just being here and doing the thing that I could do at any one particular time gave me the space to reconsider things. And I went through a whole period of just not setting any goals at all. Like, I'm not even going to bother, because I know I'm not going to achieve them. And I really went in no, not me, I'm not doing goals. No more, done. And it was interesting because the desire somehow was still crept in there, right? There was still desire to do well and to be the best person that I could be. And there was an avoidance from the point of view of goals and making sure that I was doing what it was that I wanted to be doing with my life and all of those sorts of things. And so there was a jumble that occurred in there, and everything got mishmashed, right? And that was a really good thing, because it completely topsy-turvied who it was that I thought I was and how it was that I thought the world had to be in order for me to be able to do the things that I love to do and to be able to do the things that I want to do in my life and do them well and all those things. So there was that kind of mishmash period, and it's so interesting. I think probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago I started creating goals again, and I'm very excited about this. I'm not attached to the results at all. Like I have these things that I'm doing with my business that are, and for those of you who don't know, I have a business outside of the school, and so I have that business as well. And I have these goals inside of my organizing business where we're doing some marketing campaigns and we're doing this and that, and lots of other projects that we've got going on, and it's really truly exciting. Because I'm doing all of these things, making all of these things happen, I'm totally unattached to the results. It's like a game. And it's really, really fun and exciting, and I get to go and do that every single day, and I'm drawn to it. There's not even any question about motivation. Somebody was asking me the other day, how do you not procrastinate about all the things that you have to do in your day? And I'm like, how do you procrastinate? It was really why would you procrastinate? What would you do that for? That doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve anybody. That's just this kind of that was just what happened in my brain at that point in time, right? And it was like, that's a really silly thing to do. It doesn't forge you in what it is that you want to have happen in your life. So standing in that I can create, standing in that I have a possible outcome, and doing my best, just like when I'm here in the dojo, throwing my best front punch every single time is never perfect, right? So there's always something that you're working on with your front punch. So, or whatever technique you're throwing, it's like, what am I doing in the moment right now to make this perfect? And it's more of a question around that than it is around the goal. Now, I've got all my goals and stuff written down, and a lot of them are happening kind of easily, and it's not like I don't feel any pressure around those. And I think that's one of the biggest switches that's happened for me, and and I'm not perfect. Sometimes I wish things would happen faster, and sometimes I wish, something had happened when it doesn't. But a lot of the attachment around those desires is not there anymore. It's just, it doesn't occur to me front and center. Right? It's not something that niggles at me every single day, or not something that comes at me constantly, which it did before I came into martial arts and started this practice, and started this practice of just doing a front punch when I came into class, and just doing whatever Sifu says to do, right? So really allowing myself to be in the moment of whatever it is that I'm doing at that moment, and allowing that to be perfect. And that is almost that's not the desire, but that's the goal, I guess. To be able to be what's perfect right now? What can I give right now that's the right thing to give? And then everything else kind of takes care of itself. The desires don't come up. They're not part of your conversation. So it's a way to let go of that constant pressure that society puts on us, that we put on ourselves, and allow ourselves just to be here and to get into the parasympathetic nervous system, and to be really, truly at peace with who you are and where you're at and what's going on. And from that place of strength, from that place of groundedness, to be able to take yourself forward into the world and do the things that you want to do and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish without being attached to the outcomes. Because it's really super fun to do that. It's really super fun to be excellent at the thing that you're doing. And that's, whatever measure you have for that is your measure, right? But it's the fun thing. It's Kung Fu, right? It's the definition of Kung Fu. It's being great at what it is that you're doing. So those are my thoughts around the question of the week. And I don't have any more to add than that right now. So I hope this was great for you guys, and I hope you got something from that. And the very, very basis of this whole thing is allowing yourself to let go of the attachments. And meditation, obviously, is the perfect place to practice that, where we're sitting with our breath and we're letting go of any thoughts that are coming into our minds, letting go of any attachments, and really just truly practicing being here now, and being at peace with ourselves. Thank you.